Started it again and play the PA in the top. 1, 2,
Let us pray. God of sun, wind, and rain, you are the beginning and the end, and so in this beginning of another academic year, we stand at the heart of campus as our hearts beat with joy, gratitude, and anticipation. As the Duke Chapel Tower rises into an expansive future, we come hoping to soar this year inside and outside the classroom, dorm room, locker room, and boardroom. As the fire of sunlit hope ignites for the future, some students are excited, others are nervous, while some are pretty confident that Duke made the right decision to accept them. Others are unsure and wonder, will I fit in? Will I be smart enough? Will I discover a major I really like? Calm anxieties today and tune our hearts to a melody that sings about bright hope for tomorrow. Even as we dream of tomorrows, we ponder yesterdays and remember those who've come before us and whose names grace this quad and surrounding buildings. Abel, Davis, Duke, Perkins, Reuben Cook, Allen, Few, Broadhead, Flowers, Westbrook, Gray, Langford, and more. Let their names remind us that we've never been alone on this journey. And although we are surrounded by these great names, help us to not strive to make a name for ourselves, but to have our names lovingly inscribed on each other's hearts. Remind us in this Gothic wonderland that buildings have human purposes. So lead us to build trust, nurture respect, foster inclusion, and ignite discovery in a spirit of excellence within a grace-filled context of community. Draw us together as a community full of compassion, justice, and hope, where we not only celebrate the wonders of science and technology by going to space, but embrace our common humanity by making space for each other. Give us more energy than the Cameron crazies to have the courage to let love go viral this year. In the name of the one in whom we move, live, and have our being. Amen. Please be seated if you can.
All right. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Woo! What would be the response to that? I'm glad to hear it. And thank you for still sitting here if you are. I appreciate it. My name is 𝐀𝐻𝐨𝐿 𝐀𝐮𝐨𝐰, and I'm the president of Duke Student Government. I am honored to be here with you all and helping welcome you to Duke, especially since I've gotten to meet a few of you already while staffing O Week. And I can tell you're a great class already, especially right now. You guys rock. I'll never forget my whirlwind of emotions in your spot 3 years ago. Beaming under the East Campus bridge as older students cheered us on. Mortified as my dad let out a giant F-bomb in my open dorm room as a picture he was trying to hang fell. Pushing to introduce myself to random people in Marketplace. Struggling to hold back tears as I hugged my parents goodbye. I was overwhelmed, excited, and nervous as heck all at the same time. So I'll admit I've been known to skip or dance without realizing it when I'm really happy. Thankfully, the skipping was mostly when I was much younger. But my mom captured a video of me skipping unconsciously in the Duke Gardens during my first visit here 4 years ago. Yeah, I know, pretty embarrassing. But my parents and I knew immediately that I'd finally found where I wanted to be. Guess what? I still feel like I'm skipping here fairly often. Sometimes my skip is shaky, as no people or places are perfect, and Duke is no exception. But still, coming to Duke was the best decision I ever made, and you're poised to start making it yours as well. I have another confession for you, and I swear it relates. I'm virtually always truthful to a fault, but when this New York City kid plunged into over 10 days of P-Wild overnight backpacking for around 10 mountainous miles a day, let's just say I was way out of my comfort zone. After yet another sunrise hike, I collapsed with my chest pounding, legs screaming, and more than a week without bathing, body reeking, only to be prodded by, now we're gonna hike Devil's Point, and they don't call it the devil for nothing. My immediate internal response was, absolutely not. In that moment, I decided I would do whatever it took to not be on that hike. And next thing you know, I'm on the ground, having just performed the best acting career of my life. Come help, Lana rolled her ankle, my friend said. Score. I know I sound dramatic, but that fake fall was one of the best falls of my life. My leaders left me with another group who were resting for the day, and I nervously approached a bunch of people I had never met. Next thing you know, they're 3 of my best friends, and I'm living with all of them this year. Falls and trips can be good sometimes. Of course, I've made countless other wrong turns, swerved, and went down as well as up. But sometimes a fall has ended up being what I needed. I've learned a lot from my mistakes and responses to adversity. All of you have the freedom to live out your own version of a skip-worthy and wet Duke experience. Never again will you be surrounded 24/7 by so many diverse and interesting peers at similar stages in their journeys. The possibilities for friendships, fun, intellectual challenge, and so many other new experiences and perspectives are seemingly endless here. I could list dozens of examples of how I dove headfirst into these opportunities my first year, but I do not recommend duplicating my struggle with trying to do too much. Struggling for work-life balance is probably the biggest source of falls at Duke. Remember to check in with yourself. Engaged should not mean overwhelmed. I want to warn my first-year self that while socializing is productive can be true, it's counterproductive as an excuse to procrastinate. At the same time, I'd also ask myself, are you actually going to get that work done on a Saturday? And give myself a break rather than moping in the library, accomplishing little when I know the answer is a resounding no. The best path for each of us is unique, and everyone here takes their studies incredibly seriously. But do remember this is a living, learning community, in which much of our learning comes from living and interacting so intensely with each other. Whew, I'm getting the rain now too. So take advantage of the amazing breadth and depth of opportunities here to become engaged in and with whatever and whomever interests you. You'll be happier, wiser, and more helpful to others and yourself. Duke's greatest strengths are its people and our myriad of diverse and intersecting communities. These communities include not just students, but also faculty, administrators, staff, alum, parents, Durham residents, and anyone else feeling a Duke connection. That's why I keep urging you to engage. Engage not with those who feel quickly familiar and in your comfort zone. Be open to different and even challenging perspectives. The greatest growth, joy, and meaning are found in our stretch zones. Today we're celebrating your first-year community and joining our overall Duke community. You're in. Now the question is, what will you, with the rest of us right beside you, make of it? and it's okay to have some falls along the way. Welcome again, and go Duke.
Well, welcome to the class of 2026. You know, this is an extra chance to get to know your classmates. So if you're under the tree, say hello to the people next to you. So it's my great honor to officially. All right. Woohoo! Well, during your undergraduate careers at Duke, you will see that the administration is with you. There are 2 occasions when you will be greeted by speakers wearing academic regalia, I think at least 2, today at your convocation and 4 short years from now at your commencement. So these events come through to us as a long tradition that predates Duke. For hundreds of years, students and faculty have been gathering to mark the beginning of the academic year, to renew shared values, and to look forward to the exciting future ahead. Today, you join other members of this extraordinary academic community. Today, you officially become Duke students. Wet Duke students, but Duke students. Forever etching 2026 into the history of this university. And today you begin a journey that will lead you to commencement and far beyond, to the exciting careers and to the life journeys to come. So welcome, class of 2026. We are so pleased that you're here. And with that, I will turn things over to the Dean of Undergraduate Admissions, Christoph Gutentag, for the presentation of the class.
Wow. Well done. Like, I've got all kinds of remarks, and I'm going to skip over some of them. I just want to tell you how impressed I am variously with your creativity, your ability to respond quickly to changing circumstances, and for those of you that stayed in the seats, your fortitude, your persistence. All right. You all clearly learned the lessons of COVID really well. Adapt, persist, persevere. Well done. I salute you. My colleagues salute you. And still, I want to say I envy you. I envy you, I mean, not only because here you are at the beginning of your Duke journey, but there you are, shorts, T-shirts, sandals. Here we are, long robes, black, heavy robes, North Carolina, August. Again, I salute you and I envy you. Each year, I have the honor and I have the privilege of presenting the entering class, you, to the university community. And it's just always such a pleasure to greet you, to welcome you, to acknowledge everything it took for you to get here. We know that the last 2.5 years were not at all what you expected when you started high school. We know the last 15 minutes were not what you expected when you sat down. But your lives were disrupted over and over, and as we saw here, you knew how to adapt. You knew how to hang in there, and through effort and intelligence and perseverance, you made it here. We are really proud of you. And I know your parents are out there watching, and they're proud of you, and we are proud of you. Great job. Okay, you know, probably even better than I, the many ways in which the admissions process was a challenge this year, but the result is awesome. You are exceptional in what you're going to bring to Duke. You came to us from 47 states. I'm not going to go into the 3 that are missing. But if you know anybody in Montana, 81 countries, over 1,200 different high schools, almost 900 different cities and towns. 59% of you identify as students of color. But that's not what makes you special or why I'm particularly excited to see you here. And like the classes that came before you, you know how to study and learn well, how to achieve, how to make a difference in your communities. And that's also not the reason that I think that you're special this year. Here's what we saw when we were reading your applications and when we were talking about you. And yes, we talked about you. Here's what we saw. We saw in each one of you a willingness not to take things at face value, a capacity to think for yourself. We saw you being curious if what you saw and what you read and what you heard was actually true. We saw an openness to question yourself and to question your assumptions. Look, you've all done high school really well. It takes a leap of faith to do college well, exercising and building this new set of intellectual muscles. To make your Duke education transformative, if you're not already in the habit, take advantage of the opportunity here to learn to think for yourself. The faculty, well, my notes say the faculty behind me, but the faculty in front of me and all over this university will encourage you and support you in developing that skill of thinking for yourself. And it'll help you become the good citizens and great leaders that we know you all want to be when you leave here. I've said this to every class that has preceded you, and I will say it to you. There may be times when you doubt it, but I can assure you, you belong here, you deserve to be here, you have earned your place here. You deserve to be here. Now, I was going to turn this way, but I'm going to turn that way. And now I would like to invite Mohammed Noor, Interim Dean of Trinity College of Arts and Sciences, Jerome Lynch, Dean of the Pratt School of Engineering, and Gary Bennett, Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education, to please come up. It gives me great, great pleasure to present to President Price, to present to my colleagues at the podium, and to all of my colleagues at Duke, the spirited, talented, and imaginative class of 2026. Thank you.
Thank you all for bearing with us. Obviously, we couldn't have predicted that. Trinity College of Arts and Sciences maintains our university's historic commitment to the liberal arts. In the classroom and throughout their lives as undergraduates, our students have the opportunity to encounter a wide diversity of perspectives which will prepare them to become the broad-minded and principled leaders of tomorrow. Having heard Dean Guttentag's introduction, I have great confidence that you, all of you, are well qualified to pursue the course of study at Duke. On behalf of the faculty at Trinity College of Arts and Sciences, I'm delighted to welcome the class of 2026 to our vibrant university community. Welcome.
Duke's Pratt School of Engineering takes great pride in preparing our students to be the innovators who will solve tomorrow's complex challenges. You will learn from faculty who are experts in many exciting engineering areas, from data science and quantum computing to biomedical and environmental engineering, just to name a few. And you will have the opportunity to put what you learn into practice from your very first days here on campus through the first-year design program. I share Dean Knorr's great confidence in the qualifications of this class. On behalf of the faculty of the Pratt School of Engineering, I am pleased and deeply honored to welcome the class of 2026 to Duke University. Welcome.
Our undergraduate degree programs allow students to broaden their understanding of the world and develop a deeper sense of their place. As Duke students, you will have a greater opportunity than ever before to bring about meaningful change, whether through your learning, your service, or engagement with your neighbors. Congratulations and welcome.
I'll say again, welcome to this great class of 2026. We're so thrilled to have you join us. We know what you've been through, most recently a rinse cycle. And we know that you will each of you bring something extraordinary to this special place. And let me also say welcome to parents and families who are watching today's convocation around the world. You're also entering the global Duke community, and we're grateful for your support. So we're gathered here this afternoon on Abele Quad, the heart of West Campus, under the generous shade of these towering oak trees that seem as old as time. Well, maybe not that generous in terms of providing cover from the rain. But it's East Campus, your home for this first year at Duke, that is actually much older. It was there that this institution moved to Durham in 1892 when it was still Trinity College. It was there that Duke's first classes were held, first friendships were born, first discoveries made, and yes, first basketball game played in 1905. And a little more than a century ago, it was on East Campus that President William Preston Few installed one of our first pieces of art, the statue of the sower. Now, like some of you, this statue came a long way to arrive here, from Germany by way of New Jersey. But a quiet corner of East Campus is now his home. A farmer in bronze, scattering seeds from a sack around his waist. President Few must have thought this was a fitting analogy for the small college that he led, which would grow from modest seeds into the towering university we see around us today. And I would venture to say that he must also have believed that the sower was representative of the experience of learning, of potential growing into being. Members of the class of 26, you have come to Duke to sow your goals and aspirations. And just like the oaks that surround us and stretch along that drive to East Campus, we know that what you plant here will grow tall and true. In that spirit, I want to offer just 3 thoughts as you enter this exciting new season of growth. First, know that the sower's seeds landed in the right place. This is fertile soil. It has been tilled and cared for by generations before you, and by the classmates and the teachers you will meet along the way. From your first day of class to the last, through your exploration of opportunities like Bass Connections and Duke Engage, from creating art and performing to tenting at Kville, You will find countless opportunities to have your perspectives broadened, your principles deepened, and your curiosity sparked. You'll have a chance while you're here to get into the weeds, to explore your interests with classmates and expert teachers, to conduct research on real-world problems, to serve our community and to engage the world. Take full advantage. But remember, it takes time for things to grow and patience. By rushing into every opportunity or taking on too much, we can rob ourselves of the joy of reflection and contemplation. So I have one valuable recommendation if you find yourself needing some extra time. Make a list of 10 things you're doing or want to do and scratch 2 of them off. Doing fewer things allows us to explore our interests in greater depth and focus and to get out of those weeds, to take a step back and remain open to the opportunities. My second piece of advice, and I'll make it short because of this return of the rain, is to sink in deep roots here. Sink in deep roots. We're thrilled that this is the first class to enjoy all the benefits of Quad X, and that your Duke will be more engaging, more inclusive, more fun, I think, than ever before. So seek and relish those moments for connection. These moments are what make Duke Duke, and they're what keep you rooted in this special place for the next 4 years and a lifetime to come. And while you're sinking in those deep roots, remember also to branch out. Get to know people who are truly, truly different from you, who have ideas that excite you, that challenge you, or even upset you. They are the ones who will help you grow even stronger. The extraordinary connections you make here will far transcend this campus. You're entering a global community of Duke members, alumni, faculty, staff, hundreds of thousands around the world, and they want to do all they can to help you succeed. These are strong roots. They run deep and they'll support you as you grow. And with the sower's hopeful planting in mind, my final recommendation for you today is the most important. Take care of yourself. Even with the best soil and the deepest roots, plants need a bit of care to grow and to thrive, particularly in dry or stormy seasons. And likewise, to be at your best here, you have to invest first in your health and your wellness. So make time for exercise, eat right, get lots of rest and relaxation. Explore this fabulous city of Durham. Go for a hike in the forest. Sit out and listen to a long lecture in the rain. No, you don't have to do that last part. You've checked that box. But when a dry spell or a storm comes, seek support, seek help in our comprehensive wellness and mental health resources, and in the faculty, staff, and students who surround you. And most importantly of all, get some sleep. I say this every year at this event because I really mean it. A brain that's tired will not learn, will not enjoy relaxation, will not thrive nearly as well as a well-rested one. Believe me, it's important. So when you stroll over to the sower in the next few weeks, I think you'll notice something remarkable. Over the years, through a sort of Duke magic, he has succeeded in his planting. He's surrounded now by a grove of oaks and pines much taller than these. But if you look at photos from the early years of campus, you'll see that those trees were but tiny saplings, planted on the edges of a small but hopeful new institution. Think how they've grown over the years, thriving in the rich soil, sinking deep roots, and benefiting from the care of generations of Duke people. Like those towering trees, you are sowing seeds of your own here with excitement and attention and more than a little hope. And we cannot wait to see them grow. Welcome, class of '26. We are so glad that you are here.